I was the only girl in the class not casted. The problem is that the body wasn't right. I was really young. You know, when you're that young, you don't think about this. It leaves bruises, you know?
Yeah.
Especially when you get to 16, 17 years old. In Paris, you just never know what they think of you. You never know if you do good or bad. I learned that you can shape your destiny so young. I just thought it's something I can solve. I got tired of being scared. The whole point is to enjoy being on stage. How boring it is to be like perfect. It's part of the life.
Ines McIntosh, first soloist of the Paris Opera Ballet. The journey hasn't always been easy, and I can't wait to talk with her today. We are joined today by Ines McIntosh, who is a first soloist of the Paris Opera Ballet, one of the most renowned companies in the world. At just 23, she has risen through the ranks at a rapid rate, and you could call her very much a rising star of today. She's very determined and disciplined, and people describe her dancing as very musical with youthful brilliance. The journey hasn't always been easy, and I can't wait to talk with her today. Ines, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast, and we're meeting in London, so thank you so much for coming down to speak with me today. It is such an honor to speak with you. I love following your journey and your dancing. You're such a beautiful dancer, so thank you for being here.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm really happy to come and speak with you.
Yeah, thank you. So let's talk a little bit about Paris Opera initially. You joined the Corps de Ballet in 2019, and you've risen through the ranks, really, really quickly. Paris Opera seems like it's quite a young company, lots of dancers in their mid-20s, and a lot from the school itself go there. You've mentioned how you feel the history of the Opera House and the ghosts of the opera. Tell me what you mean by that.
You know, like Palais Garnier is it's a historical monument, and I feel like when you're there, you really feel like the different energy from like all the years and all the people that went there before you, because almost nothing has changed. Like the studios are still the same, the bars, they haven't changed since I don't know when. Like the Foyer de la Danse, where we warm up before the show, because it's just behind the stage. It's the same since the building was made,
Yeah, and that particular studio is beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and it's still the same since like so many years, and so many people have been there, and so many dancers have warmed up, and so many energies.
Yeah.
And I feel like you really feel that when you're there, like yeah.
Do you feel like you need to live up to that sort of reputation? Is there any kind of fear behind that, or do you feel just kind of lucky to be there more than anything?
Yeah, I don't feel the pressure. I feel it's interesting to write your own story in there, and it's really an honor. Like every day, I feel very honored to have the chance to write my own story in this place where so many people, so many artists, so many dancers have written their own stories, and they had so many feelings, and you can feel all the people feelings there. It's a bit strange to say, but
yes,
yeah.
The closest thing I've experienced to that is at the Mariinsky. It's very similar in that way.
I think so.
The tradition behind it. Was there any particular dancer whilst you were training that you looked up to at the Paris Opera?
Yeah, there are lots. When I was younger, I had more like obsessions with certain dancers.
Yeah.
Now it's a bit different. But when I was younger, when I was at school, I was looking up to Svetlana Zakharova.
Oh, right.
Course,
okay.
Yeah. I was obsessed. Sylvie Guillem. Yeah, these two especially. Also, you know why? Because there's a lot of videos of them.
Yeah.
Of them in class as well.
Yeah.
So you get to see them not only in performance, but also in their daily life.
Yes, it's very true, actually.
Yeah, and it's really nice because you can compare is not the right word, but you can see yourself through them, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
More easily than when you only see like the perfect performance of someone. It's yeah, it's different. But now I watch so many more dancers. Like it's very different. I watch thousands of videos of all my icons.
Yeah.
So Natalia Makarova, Alina Kojokaru,
Yes.
Diana Vishneva, Guylaine Tesmar also. She was a French étoile.
Okay, yeah.
Like amazing. If you get to see videos of her, you should. She was really incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, now I'm working on theme and variation, so I'm watching a lot Jesle Kirkland.
Yes, yeah, amazing.
So I'm like obsessed with her right now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool as well. You know, you have such a diverse range of icons. I also looked up to Svetlana and Sylvie a lot. Those two were my favorites as well when I was younger. But I think you're right. I think it's because there was more footage of them.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the beginning, because you're not necessarily from a dance family. Your parents weren't dancers. So where did the passion for ballet begin from? I think you mentioned a documentary you watched. Tell us about that.
Honestly, I don't really know. You know, my parents just put me in ballet class like every little girl, like most of the little girls. And I was doing it for fun. It was my main activity next to like basic school. Like,
yeah.
And then I watched this documentary indeed. It was, I never found it again, which is funny. I looked at it, I tried to find it, but I never found it again. It was a documentary about the very first year at school in Paris Opera. And some of these guys are my colleagues right now, which is very funny. Because before the first year at school in Paris Opera, we have like a 6-month session, and where they just take very small kids to see their abilities and everything before they become real students.
So they're about 9 years old.
9 years old. Yeah. So very young.
Yeah.
And yes, this documentary was showing like the whole year and all the classes were taking. They were taking, and like, you know, what was the daily routine for them. And yeah, I really loved it. I don't know, I felt it was so interesting to be able to learn so many different things.
But had you done ballet before at this point, or?
Not really. It was like, you know,
point flex, running around.
Yeah, running around, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really loved it. And then I looked up to what was Paris Opera Ballet. And it's so beautiful. Like, I started looking at real ballet dancers, like real ballet, and I don't know, I just fell in love with it.
So it became your dream to go there. Amazing. And then you auditioned, I think, when you were 8, is this correct? Yeah.
Yes.
But tell us about that, because obviously the first time you didn't get accepted. Did they give you any reasons why, or just not today?
Not at all. So the exam, the audition, is you have like 2 rounds.
Right.
The first one is they check your flexibility, your feet. So you're in a little white leotard. And you know, they just check everything in front of a jury. So they try to flex your feet and see how far you can go with your legs and your back and how you walk.
Very similar to Vaganova, actually.
Yeah. And then if you are accepted for this, they take you a full class.
Okay.
So you do, I don't know, 1 hour class maybe.
Yeah.
So they can see a little bit how you move. And then they choose about 10 to 12 students from there.
So following that audition, you went to the conservatoire.
Yes.
Yes. Tell us, is that kind of the second school to the Paris Opera? You know, in Paris, is it deemed as the next best thing?
It used to be.
Okay.
At the time. Honestly, it's not so much anymore.
Okay.
But it used to be, and the audition was about the same. The teachers were pretty good, and it was nice to have a year there to know a bit more, about ballet and about what a professional school would look like.
Yeah.
So it was pretty similar to Paris Opera Ballet School, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the following year, you obviously had your heart set on going to Paris Opera. You were like, this is great, but I know where I'm going. Did you feel nervous that second time, like at all, or just extremely determined?
I don't remember.
I guess you were so young.
Yes, I remember it was a very impressive place, because the building of the school was already a little bit iconic,
Yeah.
And there's so many people, and you get to see the real students, all the students, so it's quite impressive. And I mean, still, these auditions, you get, they take your legs and put it there, so it's a bit like, when you're 9-year-old, it's a bit impressive. But yeah, I remember it was really important for me.
And then you stayed there until graduation.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So you are Paris Opera through and through. I would love to hear more about the school, and because it is very much, you see these videos, and obviously my background is Russian training, but I very much respect and admire the French technique for what it is. I think it's incredible. Tell us more about the French technique. How would you describe its unique quality?
I would say we are more focused on the feet and legs work. We really learn about en dehors and about turnout.
Yeah.
About turnout and about the way we use our feet. It's very important in the training.
How do they actually teach that, like in the early years, or is it just generally, would they spend a long time on tendus?
Yes, they would spend a long time, and they would make us do very fast exercises as well.
Is that from like an early age? You'd already be doing fast stuff, or a little bit later?
I would say from like 3rd year already, so it's quite young.
Yeah.
I was about 12 or 13.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like not the first years, but it's quite young. And also lots of jumps, I would say. I remember I was jumping a lot.
Pitti allegro or everything?
Everything.
Interesting.
Yeah. And battery is very important.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to be dynamic.
Yeah.
I think that's what we learned the most.
Yes, I mean, again, watching those videos, even some of the ballet masters in the Paris Opera teaching class, the Russian technique in general is much slower. There's a lot of focus on the adage and everything. And so watching it is, that would be a challenge for sure. But no, it's so beautiful. I actually want to ask you a bit more about even just the point shoes in school. Were you asked to have relatively soft shoes when doing point work for that articulation, or could you have what strength you required?
So it changed during my years at school. At the beginning, we were wearing whatever we wanted, whichever brands. And then Aurélie Dupont became director of the company.
Right, yeah.
And she said that in the company, we were only allowed to wear frieds because they are softer and it's easier to work with them. So then they asked us to wear frieds.
Okay.
At school too, because if we get in the company, then you had to change, and it was really annoying. But I remember for pas de, I used to wear very hard shoes. I remember for pas de classes, I was wearing Block Serenade Strong.
Yeah, that's what I used to wear.
And I was putting another Soul in
Wow.
it. Because in pas de deux class, we were always on pointe shoes, like all the time. And you know, when you do promenades and everything, like it kills the shoes. Like 1 hour and a half in promenades, the shoes cannot take it.
Yeah. Wow.
Especially when I was younger, I didn't have the strength in the feet so much. So I was like it was so flexible and it was really bad. So my pointe shoes were breaking so much. But then I was actually happy to wear softer shoes because I learned how to manage my strength.
Yeah.
And get used to dance on even softer shoes, you know?
Yeah, and sort of use the body to help you.
Yeah, instead of just being like
collapsing.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I mean, how did you initially, you know, because similar at the Royal Ballet School, there was a time when we had to wear fried, and I found almost exactly the same. I was wearing block, but I found as soon as we did pas de deux in the frieds, they just broke within like 10 minutes. So it was very much an awakening. But like you say, it helps you pull up and understand how to use the body and, in effect, make you stronger. In terms of the tradition of the technique, because, you know, similar to the Vaganova school, I think the Paris Opera really holds so much tradition in its method. Has the technique changed at all, if you know, over the years? Has it developed? Has it taken a mixture of anything, or does it hold at all its tradition?
I can see now, compared to my years, I see the girls that are coming in the company now, and I feel they are stronger technically.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's something they changed in the school, but I feel like they're doing like more double fouettes and, you know, like
Yeah.
So I don't really know how it like what happened.
Yeah.
But I think maybe they're putting more effort now in getting them stronger.
Yeah, I think there's, in general with this generation, there seems to be more demand for more from a younger age.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. They're 13 and doing crazy things. Let's talk a little bit about some of the hard times you had. You've mentioned before that you had struggles with your body, and you mentioned that you were too heavy at some points. Did someone tell you that at the time, and how was that, dealing with that? Because that's never fun as a ballet student.
That's not fun at all.
No.
Especially when you're really young. I was really young. I was like, this situation occurred between when I was 11 and like 14.
Right.
Then by 15, I was fine, but in my mind, I was not fine. But for the school, I had the right body.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really strange. Actually, they didn't really tell me, which I felt was the worst thing about it.
Okay.
So I found out because we were doing Paquita, like the company was doing Paquita, and you know, there's these kids dancing in the third act.
Yeah.
Second act, third act. Anyways, in the grand pas. And I was the only girl in the class not casted.
Yeah.
And you know, and I couldn't understand why. And so my mom went and asked, like, why is she the only one not casted at all?
Yeah.
And so at first they didn't want to tell her, and because she's a very determined woman, they finally told her that the problem is that the body wasn't right. So I was like 11 at the time.
Yeah, so your mum told you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom is amazing because she really knows what I want, and she will help me like to get it, you know, even if it means being a bit mean, but she will help me to get the best thing possible.
Yeah.
So she told me. I was devastated, I remember.
I'm sure.
Because, you know, when you're that young, you don't think about this. You just think about dancing and about your work. But it's not a problem that usually occurs this early.
No.
you know. So I had to change things.
How did you cope with that? Just kind of, because I've been told that before, and it's just, I mean, especially so young though, like turning up then to the studio with this newfound information in your head of what someone's told you. How did you feel going into the class, you know, the next day, like wearing your leotard, exposed, like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, it's funny because I don't remember being sad. I remember I was a bit mad that they didn't tell me because I thought, what's a loss of time,
Yeah.
you know? And I was like, oh, but I lost so much time because they didn't tell me before.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I could have done something before.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a bit mad against them. And I remember I just thought it's something I can solve.
Yeah.
And that I would do anything to solve it. And at the same time, the problem is it was not because I was like eating too much or doing something bad. It's because I had like kind of a disease.
Okay.
So, you know, it was more complicated than just doing a diet.
Right.
But we find solutions.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because, you know, someone in the company talked to me and asked my age, like, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago. And I said, well, I'm 20. And he said, oh, really? You look so much so much older. I was like, not a nice thing to say. But he said, no, because you are, like, in the way you work, you look older. You look more mature.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, where does that come from? And I just didn't know how to respond. And then I thought about it because I felt it was a bit strange, you know?
Yeah.
And I remembered when I was 11 at that time, it's so crazy that at such a young age, because of that body problem,
Yeah.
I was going to run every, like 2 times a week.
Yeah.
So I was running one hour to lose fats,
Yeah.
you know. I was going to the pool every Sunday. I was doing specific exercises to get like thinner thighs and longer legs, and you know there are specific exercises to do.
Yeah.
And I was like 11 years old doing that. It's
Yeah.
it's a bit strange. So yeah, I just remember this determination.
You've been described as a tireless worker. You know, someone
Yeah.
who clearly works really hard. And you know, you mentioned you were kind of shaping your imperfections. So obviously, like you say, that is a lot as
Yeah.
an 11-year-old. I think most 11-year-olds, they only do the conditioning classes which are given to them. They don't know what to do outside. So you probably matured a lot very quickly.
Yeah,
sort
I
of,
think it was very helpful actually.
yeah, taking things under your own kind of, you're your own boss.
Yeah.
Do it yourself. And in some ways, you don't regret this experience.
I mean,
at all.
honestly, it was a hard time. Also because after that, you know, it leaves bruises, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, okay, I lose the weight and I have the right body and then it's all over, you know? Then I kept for several years, you know, it was
Mentally, it's
difficult
tough.
mentally for me to see me in the mirror, and I was really struggling, especially when you get to 16, 17 years old. It's difficult because you always see yourself bigger than you actually are. And I was always scared that people say something bad about my body or, you know, so it was very stressful and it stayed with me for a very long time. But at the same time, I'm really happy that I learned that you can shape your destiny so young.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I see some girls, very sweet girls, everything went well for them at school. And when they get older, it gets more difficult and they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because it's much more difficult to learn when you are older than when you are this young.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Because now it just became an habit, you know,
Mhm.
for me. It's just like normal.
Yeah.
So
There's a problem, right, I'm going to fix it.
yeah, yeah. So I'm really happy it happened that way, actually.
Yeah.
Even though it was a bit difficult, and now I see this with more maturity, and it's, you know, it's a problem solved. So, but still.
If there was, you know, some young dancers watching who might be going through a difficult time in that regard, would you have any advice for them of how to approach that situation, even just mentally?
I would say sometimes when you're young, you don't realize that you have so much time in front of you, you know?
Yeah.
And it feels like, I remember, I was like, oh, but 2 years is so long. But 2 years when you're 13, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you can solve so many things in 2 years, 3 years. And you still have like your whole life in front of you, you know? So don't be scared that it takes time. And do something that is right for you and feels right.
I think that's good advice, because also in this day and age with the social media and everything, everybody wants instant results and can't really fathom the idea of things taking time, you know. But that's really important to remember. Going back to the training a little bit, was there any particular teacher at the school that was really kind of special, that you had a special bond with, or someone who you really felt gave you the most that you took with you?
Yeah, I had one. She's still my teacher, actually.
Okay.
She was my teacher in second year. So I was really young, and she was there during that time, which was really hard for me. And she really helped me with giving me specific exercises, you know, to shape the legs and everything. So that was really helpful. And yeah, somehow she's still coaching me so many years later. So
that's quite special. I guess people like that end up almost like a second mother.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
You know, do you ever talk outside of the studio at all? Or is it very much still studio and then goodbye?
It's not, we never talk outside the studio, but we talk about a lot of things in the studio.
Yes.
But it still is a professional
relationship,
yeah.
Because I've often spoken about how even at school, our teachers, well, my teacher, she used to ring us up on the phone and I don't know, gossip about things and invite us to her dacha. So yeah, it was funny because at the Royal Ballet School, it's very much, you know, like, good, you've had your lesson, goodbye. But that's something I love about it as well, is that kind of second mother feeling.
Yeah, really. Yeah, she's there whenever I need, and she's coaching me for everything. And she saw me like happy, anxious, angry, and yeah.
Yeah, well,
she's amazing.
That's amazing, though, that you can be completely yourself with this person.
Yeah.
Tell us about the audition for the company, you know, what that process is like and how it went for you.
The process is, it changed several times, but now I think it's still the same as when I did it. We have a 45 minutes center class in front of a jury. So it's not a center we know. It's like on the go.
Okay.
So you don't know any of the exercises. It's just you learn and you do, you know, because they want to see how fast you learn. And they want to see how you dance when you haven't worked for a month, you know, on a specific exercise.
Okay.
So for the girls, it's on point shoes. So we did a bar before with our teacher, and sometimes a bit of center just to get on our legs.
Yes.
Yeah, and then it's a normal class. Like, we do everything.
In point shoes?
In point shoes.
Do you do that at the school usually?
Not that often.
Okay, so it's quite new, or not as practiced?
No, like we do it a bit at the end of the school year to get ready, but it's not something we do every day.
So was that a little bit stressful at the time?
Oh, I was terrified. Honestly, I was terrified. Especially it's in the like the audition took place in the biggest studio in Paris Opera Ballet.
Yeah.
So it's not the school, so it's not home, you know, and it's like it's a proper studio, so it's huge, and like there are like 20 people, so you have like 20 people in front of you, like
On the
judging you.
jury.
On the
20
jury,
people.
yeah.
Wow.
And you always have like superstars. So I remember it was Noëlla Pontois in front of me during center. I was like, Noëlla Pontois is judging me right now. Okay, so you know, you get like superstars like Mathieu Gagnon, and
Yeah.
so it's very impressive also to see them in real life.
Yeah, and probably looking quite
Yeah,
serious.
yeah. So yeah, in a little white leotard, you're like, yeah, it's very scary.
And you have to do a variation as
Yes.
well. Is that told to you what variation you have to do, or can you choose?
No, we cannot choose.
Okay.
It's the director of the company who's choosing. And my year we did it on Palais Garnier stage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's magical.
Yeah.
So we usually, so we have this class, 45 minutes class, and then we go on stage. We usually have like a little adagio all together. And then the solo, each one of us, and then a little coda of something, you know, to say goodbye.
Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah.
Amazing. And how soon after the audition do you get told whether you're in or not?
Usually about 1 hour and a half.
Oh, wow.
It's not that long. It's okay.
Okay, so no sort of letter in the post.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's Paris Opera. They just put the paper on the wall in front of everyone.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's, I guess the later would be better actually. Yeah, so everyone crying.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, all together. It's
wow. But obviously you got in.
Yeah.
And you joined in 2019 and you were 16 at the time, so young.
So young.
That's amazing. How did you feel? Like your dream, did you feel like, oh my gosh, my dream is coming true?
Yeah, it's
like I've made it.
It's amazing. Really, it's a dream come true. And at the same time, you're a bit scared the first months because you're new to the company and you get to see so many people that you admire from very close.
Yes.
You get to take class with them. So it's a bit impressive, and you don't know where you go because Palais Garnier is huge, like the studios and everywhere, and you get to meet so many people, you know, and so at the first sight it's a bit crazy, so I was a bit scared, I remember, but then you get used to it and it's just great.
Yeah. And soon after you joined the company, there were some strikes in Paris and then COVID happened. That must have felt just kind of such a letdown, you know, in terms of you just joined, you were probably like so determined, young, raring to go. How did you feel when that all started?
Actually, yeah, it was really bad. But at the same time, I was quite lucky because I actually got injured.
Okay.
And like a really bad injury. It was my first and only injury for now, but it was really bad. I broke my ankle. Like, so when it happened and the strike were at the same time, I was quite relieved that I was not missing anything.
No, you're given time.
It's bad to say that.
No, I would have been exactly the same.
I was like, okay, at least I'm not missing anything.
Yeah.
And then COVID, well, I think it was awful for everyone. But at the same time, it gave me time to heal.
Yeah.
And so I could heal really well. And now I don't have anything bad in my ankle.
Yeah, you could take your time.
And so it was great.
And probably from your past, from, you know, kind of dealing with any situation, you probably just got on with it at home.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because the good thing is with COVID, we had everything on Visio. So I could call my physio. Sorry.
I had a guess.
My physio, and she was giving me all the exercises I had to do. So I was doing everything, and also, like I think most companies, we had classes on Visio.
Yeah.
But since it was at home, we're almost only doing bar.
Yeah.
You know, because we didn't have much space. So for me, it was just perfect. You know, because I didn't feel the pressure that I have to come back and be in shape and be ready to do the next show. I just could take my time. And yeah, I worked really well. I was actually really happy.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, somehow. I felt like I took the best out of it, you know?
Yeah, well, I think the worst feeling is when you feel like you need to rush back after an injury, or you feel the pressure to be ready for a particular show. So yeah, that was very unlucky to get the injury, but super lucky timing.
Yeah,
that happened.
Like the best timing ever for me. So
when you obviously returned, it seems like your journey has been quite rapid in terms of your promotions, you know, getting up to first soloist in just a few years, really. Tell us about that and how that happened so quickly. Were you given opportunity after opportunity? Was it even spoke about that we really want to build you up and do more, or did it just kind of happen?
Yes, in Paris, they never tell you anything.
Okay.
I mean, for now, I've never been told anything from my experience. So you just never know what they think of you.
Wow.
Yeah, it's. I think it's not so nice, by the way. So you just learn on the way.
Right. And do you kind of, with that, do you build up some sort of self-validation, you know, and self-security yourself? You know, you're not...
On the contrary.
On the contrary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you never know if you do good or bad.
Right.
You know, and it's so it's very scary, especially when you're young.
Yeah.
And it's new. But I was lucky. So Aurélie Dupont was the director at the time, and she did this like young talents bill, you know, this young talents night, you know.
Yeah.
So I thought I would not be casted because I was really new in the company, but turned out I was casted in Flames of Paris. So I was like, okay, nice that I get the opportunity. So I got to work with Elisabeth Morand. So we really worked a lot. And at first it was in March of 2021. So theaters were still closed. So we couldn't do the first shows. But then they put the shows in July, June, July, so we could do the shows. So it was really nice. But between these two sessions of Flames of Paris, we had the promotion contests, which was my first one. I was enraged.
Is this the concours?
It's the concours.
Yeah.
It is. We say promotion contest in English.
Okay.
So I was so frustrated with these years of COVID. I was like, there's no way I'm not getting promoted.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't want to lose another year, you know.
No.
I felt like it was so long to wait, and I felt like I have to get promoted to get opportunities, you know, because otherwise I still have to wait for another year.
Yeah.
Like I don't have the patience, honestly. So I just did everything I could to get promoted. So I worked so hard.
What does that mean? You know, you worked so hard. What did you do? If you described in detail.
Like, so for the promotion contest, you have two solos. One that is chosen by the direction. So the whole class has to do this same solo.
Right.
And one that you can choose from the repertoire. And yeah, I think I was like working like 5 hours a day on these two solos.
Wow.
Like 5 hours for two solos is...
That's a lot.
It's a lot. It's way too much. But
yeah, on your own, or a mixture of coach?
Private coaching.
Private coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even that's intense.
Yeah.
For 5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I was just so happy to be able to work and be able to have the opportunity to really work on something specific, you know, and like with an actual goal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really worked a lot. It was nice. and I got promoted. I was really happy.
Amazing.
And I have a very good memory of this first promotion contests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the only way that the Paris Opera promotes people. I don't think they do this anywhere else.
I heard they do it in Scala.
Okay, yeah.
But I never heard of it.
No, I haven't heard of it anywhere else, but maybe
yeah.
maybe La Scala.
I heard it's during dinners during galas.
Yeah.
That they also do it in La Scala, but I never saw anything about it, so I don't know if it's true.
Tell us about the memory then of that concours.
That first one, I really loved it. First because I really liked the two solos that I had. So the first one was Corsair, but it's a version we never see. It's on Paquita music. It's very short, and dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one I chose La Cigarette by Serge Liffard, which is amazing. It's so interesting to work on. I really loved it. It was, great memory. And I was not stressed so much because since the theaters were closed, it was not open to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was only my colleagues in the audience. So I felt like, they see me in class every day. If I don't dance so well, hope not, but if I don't dance so well, they know how I work. Like, they will not judge me only on that specific moment, and I was so frustrated. I just wanted to get promoted. So I was like, let's just do it, and enjoy and give all you have.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like, can't possibly wait anymore.
Yeah, no, I just couldn't,
It's happening now. Yeah, you seem super determined. Like, you have a very strong mindset, a very strong, let's say, will to succeed.
Yeah. Strong will.
Strong will. Like, you know what you want,
mm-hmm.
and you're going to get it.
Yeah. I do my best, at least.
No, it's incredible. I can feel that determination just by speaking with you for the last, I don't know how long, just by meeting you now. So when you became soloist, obviously this is different now. You have more opportunity to do roles on your own. How did you initially approach a role, and has that changed at all in the recent years as you've done more?
Well, again, I was lucky because I feel like they really managed me well. Mm-hmm. They first gave me just a solo. I started with a bridesmaid solo in Don Quixote, and then a pas de deux, and then a bit harder pas de deux, and then a bit harder pas de trois. Like, it was very
steady.
Yeah. So it was nice for me because I was feeling more and more ready every time because I had more experience. But I had a hard time dealing with my stress.
Yeah, tell us about that.
I was, it's difficult when you want things to go well. Mm-hmm. You tend to think that, like, what if I fail? What if I do something wrong? And it makes you very stressed, and it's very hard to deal with.
Yeah,
especially when you get opportunities, you think, well, if I don't manage as well as they want it to be, they might not give me another opportunity,
Yeah.
So I really had a hard time dealing with this. But then recently, I don't know, I just got tired of it. I got tired of being scared, of going on stage.
Yeah. When you say recently, is this in the last year or?
Yeah. I took a long time to realize how much I did.
How much you were scared?
No, how much, like how many roles I did.
Right.
I took a long time to realize.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago, I had my first principal role was Nutcracker. And then in the same season, I also did Kitri and Giselle. And then I also did guesting with Hungarian National Ballet. I did Etudes. Mm-hmm. And then in Athens, I did Swan Lake. So all big roles in just one season. But somehow I didn't realize. And I still felt like I didn't have so much experience, which was not so true anymore,
Yeah.
at some point. And I don't know why, I took some time, to say, well, you did things and you proved yourself that you can do it right, so why are you so scared now?
Yeah.
I don't know why. And I just realized that, I don't know, in December 2024, when I did Paquita, I was just like, you know how to do that? It's
So
you
did
just
you
used to
trust
it.
yourself?
Yeah. And I started thinking, I don't want to be scared anymore because it's just going to ruin my career. And you're working so hard every day in class rehearsal. And the whole point is to enjoy being on stage.
Yeah.
If you go on stage and you're scared, then why are you doing this? It makes no sense.
Yeah. Did it take enjoyment out of it for you at the time?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. I was really happy after my shows. Actually, I was really happy when I was on stage, but in the wings, I couldn't bear it. I was like, and then I went on stage, it was fine. But, when you do 3 acts, if you're scared every time you go in the wings, it's no, you cannot deal with it,
Wow, so it didn't go away once you'd gone on stage the first time. It would come back.
No.
Yeah.
Like, I remember Kitri. I had such a good time, honestly. I have great memories. It was so fun, and I was really well coached, but I only had 1 stage rehearsal before going for my debut, and I didn't have the company with me. So I never really ran the ballet before the actual show.
Yeah.
So I did the first entrance. I was terrified. Before going, I was like, why am I here? I want to go home. But then on stage, it's just so amazing, especially Kitri, you just give it all, and it's so much joy.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed. But before Dulcinea, I was tired. I remember my legs. Don Quixote is hard.
Yeah,
it's
I think
hard
I've
one.
heard it's one of the hardest.
And it was one of my first one.
Yeah.
Like, I only did Nutcracker before. So
yeah,
I wasn't quite sure I would deal with the like my body will deal
like the
with
stamina.
Yeah. And so before Dulcinea, I remember I was like, oh my God. I was doing everything in the wing just before, exactly what you should not do.
Yeah.
But somehow, like, just 2 seconds before, I just went, okay, Ines, you have to concentrate and you have to be good and just enjoy. And it was my best Dulcinea ever. Like, I never did better after that, before that. And then I said, okay, I can actually do it. I have the stamina. And then Fouette is the same. I was scared because I was tired from the pas de deux before. The stage au Bastille is so big, you cannot, you don't have so much time in the wings. So I almost ran off from my solo, and I had to go back right on stage.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's 32 fouettes, you have to do it, of course. It's like, there's no choice.
Yeah.
So I was quite stressed, but it all went well. And then I lost what I was talking about in first place.
Well, in terms of just kind of trusting yourself and
trusting myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Letting go.
And I had to prove myself a lot, you know. It's only from the sixth time I was doing a leading role that I finally thought, oh, actually, you know how to do it. You know, it feels a lot, no?
Yeah.
6 roles before thinking you actually can do it. Especially when the things went well.
Yeah.
You know, every time I was really happy with my shows. So, yeah, I don't know.
How did you actually decide, though, you know, that I'm just not going to be scared anymore? Because I think to some degree, when you have that kind of almost habit of being scared before you go on, it's very hard to get out of that.
It is.
So when you decided, look, I'm not going to be scared anymore, what actually did you do? Like the next time you were going on stage and you decided this, did you not feel that anymore? Or were you more able to hear the emotion and feel it and say, right, I'm going to put that down and not allow it to consume?
So I did something that I did before. I did a hypnosis.
Okay.
And he worked with me before for the weight problems, and because it led to a lot of confidence problem, of course.
Yeah.
So I went to that lady before, and she really helped me to get more confidence. And so I went back, you know, when I felt like I really need to find something for this stage
Fright.
stage fright. And she really helped me. And I don't know, she really calmed me down, and I felt like I really didn't recognize myself. It was a bit a strange period. But then I did Sylvia. And when I did Sylvia, it was like a new Ines. It was very strange. I was not stressed at all. Yes, it was probably the hardest ballet I've ever done. It's 3 acts, and it's so hard. Like, technically, it's so hard. So I actually already gained confidence because I did Aurora just before. So Aurora is also so difficult and so tiring, and it all went well. So I was like, okay, you know how to do it. You did Kitri, you did Paquita, Aurora, Etudes, everything went well. It should be fine.
Yeah.
But with this lady that helped me with the hypnosis, I don't know. I was like, yeah, I know it's going to be fine. It was in my head, you know. So I did Sylvia, and I proved myself that I can dance amazingly when I'm not stressed at all, when I'm not scared.
Yeah.
I loved that show so much because of that, because I was just on stage and it felt like home. You know, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna do the fouettes. I know how to do them. It's fine. You know, and it all went like in rehearsal.
Yeah.
You know, I was dancing like I was doing in rehearsal.
Yeah.
And then I decided to change a bit of things in my work. Already since December, it's something that was in my mind since December. And I decided to take a mental coach. So now I'm working with a mental coach, actually.
Do they specifically work with like athletes or sports people?
Yes. It's actually heard about. It's like a society now. From Léon Marchand. You know that swimmer is a French swimmer.
Oh, right, okay.
This Olympic gold medalist, like he did so many incredible things. And he had this problem before, like this stress problems. And he took a mental coach, and he gave his name on an interview, and I found the name, and I went to see the website. And so now I'm working with one of his co-workers, and it helps me a lot.
Yeah.
Because the effects of the hypnosis are gone now, because it doesn't last so much. But I managed to do shows without any stress.
Amazing.
Thanks to that, yeah.
That's amazing to hear that you're doing that, because I don't think that is something that is common. I think it's slowly maybe happening more, but it's not common to happen with ballet dancers. I think for so long, athletes have had a sports psychologist, you know, someone helping them with their mental state. But with ballet, I think we've always been expected to just kind of get up and do it and just get on with it and sink or swim. So to hear you're doing that is like incredible. And I think everyone listening should really take that on board, because I think it is so important as much as the physical side, especially if you're more naturally inclined to suffer with stage fright or self-doubt at all.
You know, when I was young, I got really inspired by this saying. I don't remember who said that. I think maybe it's Balanchine or Liffard. I think it's Balanchine. He said, the best dancer will be with French feet and Russian arms, right?
Yeah.
And what I understood when I heard that sentence, I said, yeah, then you have to learn the best from everyone. So I learned the French technique because I'm French. I was in French school. And now my work actually is to learn Russian arms
Yeah.
I'm like watching Oliana Lopatkina in videos. I'm
Yeah,
like,
she's the one.
how is she doing? And I'm like trying to replicate. I don't manage for now, but you know, it's my goal, and
Yeah.
I probably never will get these arms because I mean it's crazy, but at least I'm trying to get closer to that.
Yeah.
And I will, by trying, I will probably get closer.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to do that with everything now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm watching Bolshoi girls. These girls, they are fearless.
I know. Yeah, I mean, they devour that stage.
Yeah, I just go and I'm like, wow, she really is not scared of anything. But it's good.
Yeah.
You know, and some things, but we don't care. And I feel like sometimes French, we are so scared.
Yeah, I mean, British too. It's very, like, conservative, and we don't show much emotion, but a lot is said behind.
Yeah, and I don't want that.
No, it's not nice.
And I don't care if it means it's not changing tradition, it's evolving.
Yeah.
You have to evolve, you know, at some point.
Yeah.
You know, if Russians, especially Mariinsky girls, they have better arms than I do, then let's just say that and learn from them instead of being like, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there's no point, as I said, of being jealous.
Yeah.
Let's say, okay, they're better than me in this thing. I will take it from them.
Yeah.
I mean, at least, even if I take 10%, it will still make me better than I am, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, again, I love watching the French for their amazing articulation and everything, and feet. And so, yeah, I think it's important. It's so refreshing hearing you say that, because, again, I do think people get very stuck in their bubbles.
Yeah.
And find it hard to...
It's a shame.
Yeah.
And also, that's also why I want to...
Yeah.
Because when you go there, you learn, and you know...
Develop.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Like, there's not best way to learn Russian arms than from a Russian ballerina.
Yeah. Agreed.
She will show you. Even in 2 sessions, it will be better than anything else.
It will happen.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, I think it will happen.
I hope so.
You will be everywhere, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's... and you know, it's funny because I was watching Diana Vishneva last time, a video of her.
Yeah.
I'm like a ballet freak. I'm watching many videos.
Yeah, I used to watch her a lot on YouTube.
Yeah, and I feel like she's very international.
Very.
Also because of that.
Very, yeah.
She's like, to me, from the idea I have of Mariinsky, she's not a very typical Mariinsky girl.
No, no.
I feel like she has this fearless Bolshoi thing. You know?
She's very determined and very, very clever.
Yeah.
You know?
But also with this specific graciousness.
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Yes.
That Mariinsky girls have. This very...
fragile,
but...
gentle.
Raffiné, refined.
Yeah. Very pure.
Very pure.
Yeah. But she's someone, again, who has made her career by being very international, you know.
Yeah, but I also feel like sometimes also feel it was easier before. Like, you know, they will get invited to La Scala or Berlin, like, maybe more easily because they were less good dancers everywhere.
No, but so many times I ask, because I go, you know, sometimes to these places and I have to coach, like, so many variations. And I say, like, you know, have you watched this ballet? Do you know where this is, like, from?
Most of the time,
and
they're like,
no, I've never watched Giselle. And I'm like, so why are you doing this variation? And where are you getting any kind of inspiration from? She goes, oh, I watched so-and-so do YGP 2019. I'm going, okay.
Ouais.
And I'm just like, okay, go home tonight.
Yeah.
You know, otherwise...
Watch Juliana.
Yeah.
You will get inspired.
You know, but that's like, it's like crazy. You have to educate that. Because in school, it's like, it's what you're told. Like, no, you must know the history of what you're dancing. It's like your duty.
It's so funny because I have a boyfriend. Yeah. We've been together for 7 years, and he's a first soloist too. And he mocked me last time because he went home later than me, and I was I was watching your YouTube video with Alina.
Yeah, I know.
Stretching in the
Yeah.
stretching, eating a salad, and he came home. He was like,
"You're such a
ballerina." Like 2 hours long. Very interesting.
No. Honestly, she would have gone on for hours. I had to stop because
But see how we went just now.
Yeah.
We can speak for hours, actually.
Yeah, I know. She was amazing.
She's the sweetest. I've met her a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, what's so nice about like her and you and like not everybody, but like a couple of others is your like the generosity of knowledge and just being quite vulnerable, you know, with the information, because I think that's what really touches the people watching, because they think, okay, like even those people go through these kinds of things, you know?
Of course. It's part of the career. It's part of the life, actually.
Yeah.
And I think it's quite important, you know, I mean, how boring it is to be like perfect.
Yeah,
no?
I know. But that's what people expect.
Yeah, of course.
To happen
But you know
these
why
days.
we expect that too? I was expecting this because, you know, I told you when I was younger, I was a big fan of Svetlana Zakharova and Sylvie Guillem. And when you just read like the biography on Wikipedia, you just think,
Yeah, pretty
they're
perfect. Yeah.
Perfect. There's nothing to say.
Yeah.
So it's a bit, you know, like you tend to, I used to think to have this career, it has to be perfect.
Yeah.
And otherwise you cannot do it because it means you're not good enough or whatever idea I had.
Yeah, I know. So
it puts pressure, actually.
Yeah, and that's why when stuff does go wrong, you really don't know how to deal with it, and you feel like you're doing something horribly wrong.
Yeah.
You know.
But they actually also went through these times, I think.
Yeah.
So you just have to. That's why also I love documentaries.
Yeah, me too.
Because you get to see them in real life.
Behind the scenes, crying.
Yeah, being mad, and you know this video of Svetlana in a ballerina documentary doing these Swan Lake turns, and she's like,
yeah, I love that.
I love that. And you know, it made me calmer.
Yeah, agreed.
Because I felt like, oh, okay, it's her. It happens to her too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like she's not always like perfect. Thank God.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the pressure is.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's so important.
And when you're young, you don't even realize that, you know. You know, I realize that only now that I'm a soloist, and that I did so many roles and get experience, and you know, some days are good, some days are bad, and. Yeah. But when you're young and it's your first like solo role, and you think if it's not perfect every day, then I'm a failure, you know.
Yeah.
But no. And that's why I love documentaries, because.
Yeah, just being real.
Yeah.
And vulnerable.
Real, yeah.
And that's why I also, like you said, love the Americans, because they're just a bit more carefree about everything.
Yeah, they don't care.
No.
I mean, maybe they do, but they don't show it.
No, and they seem just like rational about it.
Yeah.
But also they have so much self-belief.
But that really helped me in the work, because I don't know what idea I had of rehearsal before, but now for me the rehearsal is a place where I fail a lot and where I learn how to succeed. And so I go on stage and I know how to make the movement and how to succeed this pirouette or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I go on stage, I'm confident because I learned how to do it, you know?
From the mistakes you've made. Yeah.
Because like I almost get more anxious if I, on a step, are always managed on rehearsal. Because I go, what if it goes wrong tonight? And I don't know why, and I don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Like, what if I sleep and I just panic and, you know?
Yeah.
But when you already had to adapt and had to adjust in rehearsal, then you're used to it.
Yeah. Like when you've worked for a movement.
Yeah.
And you understand, okay, I need to pull up here, use this shoulder, blah, blah, blah. Then you just know what you need to do. It's very calming.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of letting go of the fear of failing in those rehearsals. Because I guess sometimes you probably felt that you almost had to be perfect in the rehearsals as well.
To prove whatever thing, I don't know what.
Yeah.
You know, it reminds me, I remember before my debut as in Nutcracker, because in Noria version, you do Masha and it's a bit the same as in Smerinsky. You do the little girl and Sugar Plum Fairy.
Yeah.
And it was my first principal role in Paris Opera. I was like, baby.
Yeah.
I was just promoted to first soloist like a month before. So I was like, oh my God, I have to be good, you know.
Yeah.
And she's like the ballet master associated with the direction.
Okay.
And she followed me my whole career because when I arrived, she was just an assistant, and then she got promoted to ballet master. I got promoted to soloist, and so she's number 2. She's just after José. And she came and she just before my solo, she was like, "Okay, you have to think of that," and actually helped me a lot. I went on stage and I was thinking what she was saying. I was like, okay, do this, do this, do this. And I wasn't thinking, you have to do the step right. I was thinking, you have to pull up your knee.
Yeah.
And so it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you dance better. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, that's actually what helped me so much because always been quite anxious. So the thing that helped me the most was doing a lot of practicing so that I could think, okay, I need to think very specifically about this during the movement. And I guess when your thought goes to thinking about those specific things, it takes it away from the emotional side of it.
Yeah.
Like, I've got to do this well, oh my God.
Yeah, absolutely.
More, I need to think about my core pulling up and this shoulder or these, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a feeling when I lose it, I watch Bolshoi Girls. Because you can see, I don't know, so on most videos you can see that they're like, hold, stay.
Yeah.
Like in the head.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I have to do this.
Yeah. I would even watch them in slow motion.
You really?
Sometimes.
No, I'm not like that.
No,
I don't watch in slow motion.
Yeah. I had this crazy idea that I would watch them in slow motion and like absorb the skill. Yeah. But no. Bolshoi girls they basically, in Russia in particular, you are very much, probably quite similar, but I feel like even more so when they're very young, if they like you, you're not even promoted yet. They will just say, right, you're doing Gamzati, boom. And then they just kind of throw them on and they have a few weeks to prepare and then they will just see if they survive, you know. And so I think a lot of them just have this like very strong head about them, like, okay, I need to do this so that I can go to the next level.
Yeah, but it's nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure though.
It's different.
Pressure, yeah.
It's different. But again, you can learn from it, I think. You know, you can take the good parts.
Yeah.
And leave the pressure aside.
Yeah.
But you can take just do it. Just do it thing. Aurélie Dupont used to say that all the time before a show. She used to come to you and say, just do it.
Love it. Yeah. Nike.
You're like, yeah. You're like, okay, I do it.
Yeah. I feel like that's what we need as dancers, is just like it very simplified sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I think because of the artistic side of us and we're so in depth in the role, I think that can translate into how we think about everything, just so kind of vast and overthinking a lot of things that sometimes just putting it down to 3 words, just get on with it, just do it.
Yeah.
Trust yourself, boom, off you go.
I also think the pressure often comes from the artistic side. The fact that art is subjective and that even if you dance well, some people might not like it.
Yeah.
You know? And I think it's like we create a lot of pressure out of it. We go like, oh, but I have to do this. Like, you want to please everyone.
Yeah.
But you cannot. You know, because sometimes also they just won't like your body or your face or the way you move. even if you dance amazingly, you know?
Yeah. And it's accepting that
Yeah.
it's okay.
It's okay.
Not everyone might enjoy your dancing.
Yeah.
You're doing it for those that will and yourself.
As long as you're giving your best,
Yeah.
you know, and be honest on stage and in your work. Yeah, I mean, of course, we all want to be appreciated as an artist, as a dancer, but yeah, sometimes you have to understand that you cannot please everyone in every role. Also, someone will love you in Giselle and hate you in Kitri.
Yeah.
No, but it's true.
It is true.
Because also people have their expectations, you know?
Yeah. I think as dancers, we hold on to a lot of perfectionism. We expect us to do everything perfectly. That the idea that someone might not like what we're doing goes against the perfectionist side of us, you know? And so that also needs to be trained, I think, in our mental state of it's okay. Not everybody needs to enjoy everything we do, you know? I struggled a lot with perfectionism.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Have you let go of that at all a little bit?
Not really, but I think that I accepted that I have my own body. You know, I used to want to be like Sylvie or Svetlana and be the same. And if I'm not the same, it's not good enough.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But I'm different and I have my qualities and I have different flows and things that I do easily and things that I struggle to do. And, you know, it's different. And I think that now I learn to work with my own body and, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's the difference. And it makes it more like I can do it, you know? Because I can model my body.
Yeah.
Change my body and do the best with what I have and not what I want to have, you know?
I think that's a really important message, actually. Yeah. Because I know a lot of dancers who, like, perhaps to put it to extremes, they look at Svetlana Zaharova and they see these crazy extensions. And then they realize that, okay, I know I have a limit with that. But then they might decide then, well, I'm not good enough, or I'm not going to make it because I am not going to have this, you know. But I think, like you say, we don't need to be identical. And there are so many amazing ballet dancers out there who are completely different. And I, as well, when I often look at people who are not the person I would directly look to for my own inspiration, but I think, wow, she's an amazing dancer. And she's completely different to what I would call my personal ideal ballerina. But, you know, there's room for giving whatever you have to offer, you know.
I also think my vision of the ideal ballerina changed a lot.
Yeah.
Like it did not change, but it I have as much admiration for Svetlana than for Natalia Osipova.
Yeah.
Like both of them, I cannot choose.
No.
You know, I'm just like, them are superstars. I'm in love with them. I'm like Natalia Makarova is my, you know, I think she's an incredible artist. But what makes them special is that they are very different and they have very specific qualities. And you know, you said the word identical, and the thing is, it's exactly what I don't want to be anymore. Because if I'm identical, you know, if I'm like Svetlana Zakharova, I would just be a pale copy of her.
Yeah.
So it will just be disappointing.
Yeah.
You know, so better be myself, and better be the best version of myself. And maybe one day, people will see me like, oh wow, like she's doing this, and it's really interesting, you know.
Yeah. I definitely feel already, like, again, you're so young, but I definitely feel you're already, like you said at the beginning of the podcast, writing your own story and building your own unique identity with how you perform. Like, you know, you can, when you think about Osipova, you can see her dancing and her own personality on stage. And I think that is really something that's coming out of your dancing, like every time I watch something new, you know, so to a point where I'll be able to visualize you doing something, I think, in the future.
Thank you.
You know, in your own way.
But it's, you know, it's also interesting to, sometimes when I lose inspiration, I go like, okay, how would Osipova do it? How would Marianella do it? You know, and it gets me into a different body conditioning.
Yeah.
You know, when I think Osipova, I go like, okay, I will, you know, for instance, if I do a big jump, I will try to go as far as possible in the studio.
Yes.
You know, and use the space as much as possible.
Yeah.
When I think Marianella, I will be like very clean, very light, and the back is very wide.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's different works, but you make it yourself, you make it your own.
Yeah.
So I think it's very interesting, especially in class. You know, you're doing tendus every day, and sometimes, and I don't want that. I try to avoid that as much as possible. So I'm like, okay, how would Uliana will do her arm?
Yeah.
And I try to do how I imagine Uliana will do it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe it's not even close to what she would do, but it gives me an idea, you know?
Yeah. I'm sure you're not the only one who does this.
It's very helpful.
I think, I mean, Marianella is a huge fan of Uliana.
Yeah.
I bet she does this as well.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I mean,
Probably.
we should all do that.
Yeah, we should all do that.
But that's, again, so important though, because I think that's what keeps people like yourself, who are these kind of ever-growing artists, keep going up in their own unique way, and separates you from the people who settle down and lose and don't search or seek inspiration, and then they just kind of get left behind.
Yeah.
You know, it's so important, and it's effort and it's hard work, because yeah, we are doing the same thing. So how can you make it interesting for you?
Yeah.
Did you feel that, obviously you felt like you were a different person, but when you watched yourself at all dancing, did you think you looked different dancing? Did you think you looked more confident at all?
I didn't feel that while watching myself, but people said so.
Okay.
Yeah, after that show, everyone was like, I usually get nice reviews after my shows, but after that specific one, people were like, what did you do? I was like, I don't know, I was just confident. So it all worked out. Yeah, I was not scared. You know, I felt like really fearless, and that's what I wanted to feel like. I think the role of Sylvia helps for that, because she's a fearless woman.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't care who you are. She's just stronger than you.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's helpful. Of course, when you do Giselle,
yes,
it's not the same way of thinking.
Yeah.
Because I really sink into my roles. And I usually observe that I kind of take the personality of the role I am dancing.
Yes.
You know?
Outside with you a little bit?
Yeah. Like, I remember, because it was very funny, because when I did Kitri and Giselle, it was only a month apart. A lot of a journey to do between the two of them. And I noticed that when I was doing Kitri, I was like speaking a lot more freely, and I was laughing out loud, and I was like speaking to people and being joyful and la la la. And when I was doing Giselle, I was like all in myself, all a bit shy, which is more of my natural personality. Yeah, I was like all shy and a bit like nostalgic, and more in my inner self, you know.
Yeah. So kind of method acting a little
yeah,
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sort of unconsciously.
Yeah.
It was just happening.
Yeah. So yeah, I think for Sylvia it helps, you know. You're a strong woman, so mentally you're stronger.
Yeah. Were there any particular things you were saying to yourself before you went on for that Sylvia role? You know, backstage, was there any particular sentences or words of affirmation to yourself before you went on that got you in this fearless mood?
There is a specific phrase I always taught to myself since my first promotion contest, actually, that always worked for me. Even, you know, even if I was feeling very stressed in wings before, once I was on stage, I was not anymore because I decided not to be. And this phrase is, don't let your stress ruin all your work.
Yeah.
You know, like you worked so hard. Don't let your like insecurity ruin everything. Like it's not possible. Like you will feel so bad after if you just let it happen. So that is something. And then I also told myself that I proved myself several times that I can do it and that there's no reason that it won't work well, you know?
Yeah.
Especially in Sylvia, the first act is crazy. I don't know if you saw my Nels Legree version.
Yes, I mean, I've watched your videos.
Oh yeah, so you saw maybe.
Yeah.
So you saw the first entrance probably, and after this, there's like a 4 minutes long waltz with balances and like finishing with fouettes. So I can tell you, you don't have legs anymore. It's all in the mind.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I decided that I will work on my stamina, and I ran the first acts like 12 times before going on stage, before my stage rehearsal.
Wow. Yeah.
Which is more than what we usually do. And so I think 10 times out of 12, I did everything perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, not perfectly because there's always something to work on, but everything went fine.
Yeah.
So it was just like, yeah, it works all the time. Why wouldn't it work tonight?
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was something. But of course I was a bit like, oh my God, you're going on stage right now. Always, but it's normal. I think it's because you care also.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think I heard Sylvie Guillaume say, if you don't feel anything, then that's strange. You know, that's, what does that say?
Yeah.
It's normal for you to feel something. It's because you care.
Yeah, you're scared because it's very important for you, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's just necessary to be scared and to be a bit impressed and to say like, oh, wow, I'm doing this, and like, I hope everything will be fine, you know? It's just normal.
It sounds like a lot of your progress on that side of things is just making everything just a lot more rational.
Yes, exactly.
In terms of the thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, I've done this many times before, of course it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just not making it as big in our heads is important. Amazing. I'm so glad you're doing that. Let's talk about Giselle, because that was a big moment for you. And you've said that it's been something like potentially your favorite or a special role for you. Tell us about that and the preparation for it and how the performance went for you.
Yeah, I don't know why. It gets me very emotional, you know, Giselle. It's always a ballet I was dreaming to do, like since I was so young. I remember before doing it, before my debut, I was saying, I prefer not to have any career but do Giselle.
Yeah.
You know, rather than to do everything but not do Giselle in my career. Like, I have to do it, really. It's really important. I don't know why. I think it's the story, you know.
Yeah.
I feel it's there's something so touching about it, about humanity, you know, about it's something that you can still live. Of course, not that far, but it doesn't go that far. But you know, of being in love and being heartbroken and still finding strength to forgive.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's very beautiful, and it's a very important thing to have with you in your life. You know. So yeah, when I heard I was doing it, I was just crazy. It was a dream come true. So it was such a dream that already before starting rehearsal, I had an idea of about how I wanted to interpret the role. Especially Matt saying I already like know the music so well, and so like, oh, at that time I want to do this and do that and feel this and show that and show this emotion and la la la.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really loved. Like every day was like a joy in the studio.
Yeah. How did you approach the first act? You know, there's so many interpretations of Giselle in terms of what ballerina's thoughts are of the character and her history. How would you describe your Giselle in terms of the type of person she is and her history, you know?
Yeah, I felt like I was telling my own story.
Yeah.
Somehow. Because I really associate with her. Like this kind of, to me, she has this kind of like goodwill, you know. She wants to do things well, and she's really good-hearted, and she, you know, her eyes are bright, and she's like everything is so beautiful in her eyes, you know. She just take everything with joy and with admiration, and yeah, she just has this passion for everything, you know, even for simple things. It's just everything is just so beautiful, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, she has this very light spirit, you know, this I don't know, I don't even know how to explain it. I just like feel it in my body.
I mean, I can even see it in your eyes.
You know, this she's,
it seems like what you're describing is almost everything's on the surface with her. Like she wears everything on her sleeves, like youthful.
Yeah, and clever, but she's seeing beauty in everything.
Yeah.
And that's why she gets in love with Albrecht, and that's why she believes him, and that's why she gets heartbroken, because she sees beauty and she wants to see beauty in everything. For her, Hevil doesn't exist, you know?
Yeah.
Like it only exists in the story Mother Teresa, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see that even just.
Yeah, I love her. She's so sweet. I don't know.
I must come and see you do, Giselle.
Oh, I hope one day.
Yeah, I would love to. Be amazing. But I think as well, because you are so young, it's such a perfect role to do at your age now. She is such a youthful character.
Yeah, really.
But what a moment for you. Amazing.
I was so emotional.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was not even scared. I remember I was behind.
She's not scared anymore.
She's not scared anymore. I mean, of course I was. Yeah, I've you know what I thought? I was like, whatever happens tonight, I did it. You know, I did my dream role, and that's all that matters. And I didn't even realize how like the audience was full, extra full.
Yeah.
Like people were standing in the audience. It was crazy, honestly crazy, because so many people knew I was waiting for that moment in my career, and people were so supportive. And when I opened the door, you know, the first entrance.
Yes.
People applaud so loud, I couldn't hear the music anymore.
Yeah.
So I actually missed the first accent because I couldn't hear it. And you know, all this made me so emotional because the support, like my colleagues also, they all knew that it was such an important moment for my career and for my life, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, see, it makes me cry.
Yeah, I mean, you'll treasure that forever. Those memories.
Yeah.
And it's the first of many, I'm sure. I'm sure you'll be doing Giselle's all over the world.
Thank you. I hope so.
Yeah, I know you have a lot of ambition to dance everywhere.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about. Amazing.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about, you know, the reaction to your rapid rise in the company. You know, every company is different, and obviously I don't know what Paris Opera is like, but was there any kind of rivalry or jealousy to you moving up quickly at all?
Honestly, I don't really know, because as I said before, in Paris Opera we don't say anything.
Okay.
I've
learned this today.
Behind.
Right.
It's all, yeah, they don't do anything in front of you. You know, it's all behind you. Yeah. So I guess there were some things, but yeah. Like the most important for me is to become the best dancer I can be, you know, and I mean, if you don't like me because I'm trying my best, then what can I do? Yeah, c'est la vie, you know, it's not my problem, you know. I'm just doing my thing. If I'm doing something wrong, then yeah, of course you can be mean with me, but I'm trying not to, I mean, I'm like really, I'm not thinking about others.
Yeah.
I'm only trying to think about myself and about the work I do and to do it the best I can.
Yeah, I think that's the only way to be.
Yeah.
Really.
Because the rest is not interesting.
I always think as well, like, if anyone has these feelings, there's room for all of us to succeed, you know, in our own way. And we don't need to be angry at someone else's success in order for us to feel better, you know.
And also we are also different.
Yeah.
You know, like you cannot be jealous of another dancer because she has qualities, she has flaws. I have my qualities, I have my flaws, and all you can do is do the best with what you have, and you know, and like give your best to the dance world also. You know, it's such a beautiful place. We have so many beautiful people, beautiful artists, and the best thing you can do to make it better is give your best and try to make it better, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's so yeah, there's no way of being jealous. Like there's no reason.
Tell us about your mum, because yeah, you've said I mean obviously she's your mum, so is a very special person, but you've said she gives you feedback. Tell us about your relationship in terms of her watching you and letting you know anything.
I like honesty, and I think the closer you are to someone, the more honest he is. And I know my mom, I can ask her anything, you know. If I did something I didn't like in a show, she will tell me, and I will ask her and will be like, was it that bad? And she will be like, yeah or no, you know, no, it went well, like you felt like this, but it's not that bad, or yeah, next time work on that, or you know, it's very honest. And I'm looking for this because I think it's the best way to improve.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you have to have people being honest and saying, I didn't like what you did tonight.
Yeah.
Next time try to do this or do this or do this, you know.
And I guess what is it like at the Paris Opera? You've said not much is said, but let's say a show has finished. What immediately happens? Does anybody come behind the curtain and say their notes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you obviously do get honest feedback?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we do, but sometimes, of course, you cannot ask the questions you want. You want to ask sometimes, you know, what I ask to my mom sometimes is, for instance, for Giselle Madsen, you know, of course, she was very emotional because she's my mom and she knew it was my dream role, but I was like, did you feel this? How did you felt when I did this? Did this have an impact or not, you know? And sometimes you don't dare to ask your coach or direction because you don't want to be like strange or mean or, you know, look a bit crazy. So
yeah. So I guess, you know, she's almost your secret weapon in a way.
Yeah, yeah, kind of.
Because you can be like, Mum, what was that like? Tell me honestly.
Yeah, or if I feel like, I mean, I don't have weight problems anymore, but you know, if sometimes I ask her like, did I gain weight? How do I look? Does this leotard looks fine on me? Or you know,
Yeah.
things like that that you don't actually ask your coach.
Yeah, that's really amazing.
Hmm.
I think a lot of people would struggle with that,
Yeah.
like with their mum. It's
Yeah.
like, Mum, please, just watch. But that's, yeah, really special. And I think whoever that person is, you need that honest feedback. And that was something, my favorite teachers were always those that would just be very honest and not mean at all, but just very to the point and just saying it how it is, because you just know where you stand and you know how you need to improve.
Yeah.
So it's super important. Tell us about, in terms of now relaxing and you taking days off, what do you do to kind of unwind and reset yourself for the week ahead? Because obviously you work very intensely. Do you take days off?
I do. I think it's very important to take at least one day.
Yeah.
I usually only take one, but it depends on, you know, if I have a show soon or if I had several shows. If I had like a lot of shows in a row, sometimes I take 2 days because I need more time.
Yeah.
You know, to rest and
do you
think
get,
about something else.
Do you get a weekend in the Paris Opera? Like, do you have 2 days off regularly, or?
It's a bit strange. When we only do rehearsal, we usually have 2 days in a row. When we start with the shows, we will have like Tuesday and then next Wednesday and then
Okay.
Monday, Tuesday, and then, you know, just like it's not very regular.
Yeah. So what do you enjoy doing on your days off when you are resting? If anything.
Yes, I usually like to go in a park. I have a park next to my flat. So I usually go there. I like the nature.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like it's very relaxing and you can let your thoughts wander and yeah, read and watch TV, cook. Yeah, very simple things actually.
Yeah.
Sometimes you also have to do like laundries and, you know, because you don't have time in the week. Actually, very basic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I never, during my day off, I don't do anything. Like I don't stretch, I don't do anything. I want my body to really recover and not do anything, yeah.
So. Yeah, I think when you have such an intense week, it's so nice to just barely do anything.
Yeah.
And just, you can kind of feel your body's exhaustion on that day off, but also feel it kind of healing.
Yeah.
I remember those feelings. Let's talk a little bit about your career ambitions. You know, you're still so young, which is amazing. You've done so much already. What would you describe, along with, obviously we've spoken about Giselle, what is your next kind of biggest ambition or your dream career to happen for yourself?
Well, I think Ballet World is small but big at the same time, you know. There are so many places to discover.
Yeah.
So many people to meet, so many people to work with. So of course, as a ballerina, I want to dance in the Bolshoi, I want to dance in Mariinsky, I want to dance in La Scala, because it's such iconic places, you know, that you want to discover and live the experience. Like, it's almost like I don't want to choose, like you live Paris Opera experience and other dancers live Bolshoi experience, and it's almost like I don't want to choose, you know, I want to live a bit of everything.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, to get the full experience of ballet world, kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be so nice to be able to, in my short ballerina life,
yeah,
to discover everything the ballet world has to offer, you know.
I'm sure it will happen.
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah, I can see you going everywhere.
Well, I try to, but you know, it's more like to leave the full circle thing.
Yeah, and just, I'm sure you just hungry to enrich yourself.
Yeah.
You know, as an artist.
And it's such dreams, you know? Like Paris Opera is a dream, of course.
Yeah.
But Mariinsky, it's a mythical place, you know. I want to go there and see how life is there, and I want to see a ballet there and maybe dance a ballet there and meet people and see how it works there, because it's different.
Yeah.
And you can learn from them because they are probably doing some things better than you. And you know, it's like every place is at its pros and its cons, and I want to take everything I can, you know.
Yeah.
To live the ballerina life the best I can, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's
We'll
amazing.
see.
Yeah. You kind of remind me almost of Sylvie Guillaume, you know,
thank
just
you.
so maybe one day you will be so international, you know, working with all these amazing choreographers and people. You've mentioned you would like to work with Ratmansky. Yeah.
But I think also a bit for the same reasons, you know. I feel like he's a very versatile choreographer. I got really interested when he did. I think the first work I saw of him was Giselle, that he did in Bolshoi, and they did live streams in cinemas. It was with Olga Smirnova, I remember, and it was very interesting to see the way it was done, like many years ago, like the original creation. And I know he did also with other variations, I think from Farron's daughter, other things. I don't remember everything, but I saw several videos. But it also does more neoclassical ballet, you know, and I think it's very interesting that it goes so far in the versatility that ballet can offer, you know.
Yeah.
Now and I feel like he has a lot of knowledge, and yeah, I would be very interested to work with him. I feel he's a very clever man. Like, it looks like a very clever man. And,
yeah, totally.
And yeah, so yeah, definitely, I would be very happy to meet him and even have a chat. Like, say like, oh my god,
well, hopefully he's watching. I'm a huge fan of his work, and like you say, it's very intelligent.
Yeah.
It really stands out amongst kind of this century's choreographers. And obviously he's done a lot with the Mariinsky, and so I always thought, you know, wow, this stuff is amazing and so clever. What are you working on at the moment?
I'm working on Theme and Variations by Balanchine.
I'm actually coming to see it.
So you see me dance live?
I'll see you live. I'm so excited. And I've actually never been to the theatre.
So it's in Bastille.
Okay, well, I haven't been there either.
But I'll get there a visit. I'll get you a visit of Garnier, of
Okay.
course. We'll organize that. Yeah, Bastille is huge. It's a very modern opera. I'm very excited. And also, it's my first time dancing Balanchine. So it's a new style for me. And it's nice because Theme and Variation, there are so many videos. I found, yesterday actually, I found a video of Alicia Alonso. So it was created on her.
Yes.
Coaching Angel Corella and Paloma Herrera.
Oh yeah, amazing.
So she's coaching them. So I was like this on the videos because it's so interesting, you know, to see them already, these amazing dancers.
Yeah.
You know, they're amazing, and to have a feedback of someone, you know, of such a ballet icon, and someone who actually worked with him and who did the creation of this ballet. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, amazing. Well, I can't wait to watch you live and see you. And I think you are such an up-and-coming young dancer who's got this whole career ahead of her. And it's been a huge honor speaking with you today.
Thank you very much. I was really happy to come. It was so nice to speak with you, and yeah, everything was great. Thank you very much for your welcome. And
yeah, you're so welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.